being on the spectrum, correct?
That's totally correct, yes.
So, what are some of the favorite things you like to do?
Well, obviously for work, I say this only because work is a big part of what's my favorite
What do you
thing.
do? I don't think we forgot to tell people, what is your current title?
I actually do work. I have a job. That's going to come as a surprise. Yes, I for a while I was actually the CEO of the Autism Treatment Center of America, which was an amazing and one of the hardest things I ever did.
So you had a lot of respect for your dad at that point.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And that's also part of one of the things I piloted and pioneered while I was doing that was the actually specific university-backed published research on the Sunrise program, which is in the process of being submitted to journals right now.
Exciting.
So that was exciting. But now I'm no longer the CEO. I'm the director of global education for the Autism Treatment Center of America. I teach on property. I develop curriculum, but one of my favorite things that I do is I travel all around the U.S. and the world, lecturing to parents and professionals and giving people tools they can take home and try with their own kids. And I really love it because I get this chance to connect with all different kinds of parents who have this connection to my parents because they have these special kids.
Yeah.
But they're all really different, but they all really love their kids the same way. And so that I love, even though that's not my leisure time. And I love to travel in general, so that's super terrific. In terms of when I'm not at work, I'm definitely a guy that really likes to hang out with his friends. I'm a movie buff, so I definitely see the latest movies, and I like old movies too. I'm a big reader, so I read a lot. I write a lot, so I just finished a book on autism. It's sort of like a starter's manual for someone trying out these principles who wants to try it at home. And let's see.
Like you like any sports?
Oh, well, I used to play tennis in high school for my school, and I love that. So I still follow tennis.
I meant, what do you watch?
I know that's what you mean, but
because I've hung out with you, and I know exactly what happens when you watch a certain sport.
I know. I'm sort of definitely in the game when I'm watching the game. Yeah, I mean, football and basketball are sort of my main spectator sports, sure. Although I watch tennis a lot too.
Well, when I joke about that is because I know you're not on the spectrum anymore, and you're just like every typical guy. When you're watching the game, you're like, wait, and he totally does this. It's like if you ever hang out with him in your group, could be a big group of us, hanging out. And he'll be watching a game, and he's like, all the other guys are like, no talking, what's going to happen next? And then go to commercial, and then it's like, hey, what do we have to eat, or, anything else? And so, and when I've seen you do that in groups, I always giggle because I'm like, that's just a regular guy. Like, that's what guys do. Yeah. So I think that's great.
Yeah. And, of course, like all my female friends, you fail to understand the sanctity of the game while it's happening. But yes, that's definitely something that I really enjoy.
Well, and I think it's important for families to see, that you've come full circle, right? Like, so your parents were told one thing, you guys obviously overcame all of that, and now do you believe the word recovery? Do you believe the word cure? What do you believe?
Here's the thing. It's sort of funny. At the end of the day, recovery and cure actually mean the same thing, which is you don't have it anymore. However, I never use the word cure, ever. I never use that word, because what it's become is this sort of controversial stand-in for we're saying there's a magic pill that cures all children, which I certainly don't believe, and it would be wonderful if we had that. It doesn't exist. I do believe in recovery, absolutely. Recovery meaning, and when I use it, I hear it bandied around a lot with autism, and unfortunately it's now become muddied so that some people just use it to mean my child made a lot of progress, which I think is every bit as meaningful as recovery. I just don't think we should use the same word. I think we should say, my child made a gigantic amount of inspiring progress in all these areas. And if a child has done that, I will say that. But when I say a child is recovered, like me or my niece Jade, then what we mean is they have no traces of autism. They're just a neurotypical person living their life.
Well, and I think that's so wonderful for everybody to hear out there, because when I think of that, I think of it as you no longer fit the needs for the diagnosis, right? So it'd be like, okay, well, if I went to an insurance company and let's say I was, I was sick and they no longer had that anymore, well, then they wouldn't cover it. So it's kind of like the same thing.
I think it's safe to say an insurance company would not cover me for autism.
Well, that's good, right?
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to make sure, because I know our time's near the end, and I could talk to you forever, and we have in the past. I want to make sure they can find you guys and all the great work you guys do. So can you give your websites?
Sure. Well, if you go to www.autismtreatment.org, and I do want to highlight, you can just go on there now and just see what other parents are going through and explaining. You can see a lot of really good tutorial videos that will show you some things you can try at home. So definitely. The Autism Treatment Center of America itself is located in Sheffield, Massachusetts. And it's a nonprofit organization, which means we have money donated every year just for financial aid for parents who want help.
And the startup program I was talking about, that's a 1-week program, or really 5 days. And you go there without your child. And that's, again, where they give you, in a sense, that, and I think of it at least as, like I said before, an instructions on how, like instructions manual, how to play with your child, how to be with your child at home, how to help others understand your child. And that's just the first program. I mean, there's others, but I think it's important for them to understand that they go without their child, they're there for 5 days. And then also, you guys have something, I think it's called an initial call.
Yes. You can call 413-229-2100 if you want. And basically just say, I would like to talk to a family counselor. This is really amazing because it's something that no one's charged for this. And I say that's amazing because so many times we want to have someone on the phone for a half an hour to ask questions to and talk about our child. And that's not available, or we have to wait on a long waiting list. And this is basically something you can call and book an appointment for at no charge. And we'll then call you back, and you can spend a half an hour talking about your child, and we can really help you to find the best way forward for your child. If you want help with financial aid, we can show you how to do that. So I definitely recommend that.
And then I also know you guys have free DVDs about there's different people's journeys. There's another one, actually, the book, because it was turned into a movie. They can get that DVD from you guys, and those are at no charge if they call the center as well, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff you can get. I mean, aside from the stuff on the web, just you can ask us for stuff. There's couple different DVDs we can send you, and a lot of written information. So absolutely.
Well, I am just so grateful that you took the time to talk to us. I think it's inspiring to see people do recover from this, and I'll just say that word. I know it's scary, but I mean, people recover, they get better, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, I could care less. My thing is, my biggest dream is I just want to dance with my son at his wedding one day. That's my dream. You could call it whatever you want. I want him to just have that life, and to be able to see that you have that life, I think inspires so many other people. And now there's so many other kids coming and having,
absolutely,
a life just like you, that we're also told that would never happen.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Raun, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And for all of you guys out there, if you want to be on a show or you want information about the show, you can email us at ksg@autismapproved.com. Also, if you'd like to stay connected with us, you can follow us on Twitter at Selby Gonzalez or on Facebook at Kristin Selby Gonzalez. I'd like to thank Enzymedica for taking the time to sponsor this show. And then also I'd like to thank all of you guys for allowing us to come into your homes this week and offering you a little hope. So thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for Autism Approved with Kristin Selby Gonzalez. Please join us next week for another episode brought to you by Enzymedica.